This is macOS Ken.
Strength for the latest iPhones in China, a look at next week's OS updates, and the tale of the pokey little iPad. It is Friday, the 17th of September, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Ladder. Smart, dynamic term life insurance. Learn more at ladderlife.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Upstart, fair and fast personal loans. Paying off debt can feel like an uphill battle. High interest rates plus minimum monthly payments can keep people in an endless cycle of debt. Upstart can help people out. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment. Upstart looks at more than just your credit score, factoring in income and employment history. That lets them offer smarter rates with trusted partners. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate upfront for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/macOSKen. UPSTART. That's upstart.com/macOSKen. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/macOSKen. Great day in the morning, as an older relative used to say. No relative of mine, but it sounds like something an old person would do. Anywho, quite the start for iPhone 13 in China. CNBC ran a piece Thursday afternoon heralding huge interest in the Middle Kingdom for Apple's latest communicators. Citing a report from South China Morning Post, CNBC said pre-orders for JD.com, one of China's biggest online retailers, were at 2 million on Thursday afternoon. That was 500,000 better than pre-orders for iPhone 12 for the same period last year, though that is a hard number to sell since there was no same period last year. Releases were staggered in 2020, with iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro hitting a few weeks before iPhone 12 mini and iPhone 12 Pro Max. The cynical part of me says the best you can say today is that interest has not fallen. I'm not saying interest is low, it's just not an apples-to-apples comparison, if you'll pardon my use of that term. The same piece says consumer interest appears high on Alibaba's Tmall platform, which starts pre-orders today. While Apple would no doubt like to attribute the strong interest to everything iPhone has to offer, SCMP highlights weak competition in China as another reason for the iPhone pre-order strength. The paper said Apple's competitor in China, Huawei, has continued to struggle under trade sanctions, according to CNBC, and hasn't produced a similar premium phone. Almost everything gets an update on Monday. No, this is not a repeat of last Tuesday's show when Apple introduced security updates for everything. We are talking about this coming Monday, the 20th of September, when almost everything gets an update. I told you yesterday that Apple on Tuesday seeded release candidates of iOS 15, iPadOS 15, tvOS 15, and watchOS 8 to testers. That was followed by confirmation from Apple that those 4 operating systems will be released on Monday, the 20th of September. It's been a while since those revisions were previewed at WWDC. A piece from TechCrunch highlights some of the upcoming features. Among them, Live Text will recognize text in photos as text, letting users highlight, copy, and paste from pictures into notes, messages, calendars, wherever one puts text. Focus mode for iOS 15 will let users configure levels of distractibility. One might better call it focus modes, since users can create modes of their own. Work, sleep, running, whatever. Then tweak those modes to control which apps and people can pull the user away from what they're trying to do. Everything is getting the more detailed weather app. Improvements are coming across the board to Apple Maps. FaceTime's getting improvements, and there's a new look for Safari, which, last I heard, you could mostly turn off, reverting to the version of Safari we already know how to use. Notable in its absence is macOS Monterey. No release candidate this week according to Cult to Mac, no promise of a full release next week. The cult figures the OS could be a month or more away. The site expects it to debut alongside new MacBooks that could be unveiled in October. With macOS Monterey not making the scene on Monday, it'll come as no surprise that Universal Control will not be coming next week. A piece from Apple Insider reminds us about that feature, saying Universal Control will enable a controlling Mac to pass its cursor between an iPad, the controlling Mac, and another Mac. That's going to need time, since it's also going to need macOS Monterey. Apple says the feature will still be out sometime this fall. A couple of clarifications on ProRes video for the iPhone 13 Pro line. It won't be for every iPhone 13 Pro, and it might not be available next week. It's wrong of me to say clarification and might not be, but there's a reason and we will get to it. First, let's talk about why some Pro phones are more Pro than others where ProRes is concerned. A piece from my download blog says, it's all about that space. Quoting that report, shooting in ProRes strains device storage significantly. Apple will limit ProRes capture on devices with less than 256 gigabytes of storage to 180p resolution at 30 frames per second. So are they still calling it ProRes at that point? The mysteries of marketing are mysterious. As for whether it'll be ready next week, it sounds like not. The iDownload blog piece has Apple indicating that ProRes will come as a feature update later this year. My only hesitancy around that, the piece kept saying that the video format won't be available when iPhone 13 Pro launches on Friday, the 17th of September. That is, of course, not when the phone was scheduled to launch. It's when it was scheduled to go on sale. Checking Apple's iPhone 13 Pro site doesn't make the feature's ETA 100% clear either. It says ProRes is coming soon. Of course, so is the blessed phone that'll capture ProRes video, so probably not happening next Friday. And now, a cool thing that is coming in next week's updates. Starting next week, iMore says Siri on HomePod and Apple TV will speak Italian. I mean, if you wanted to, not exclusively. Boy, that'd be something, wouldn't it? Anyway, to enable Italian for devices, iMore says, in the Home app, long press your HomePod, then tap on Settings, and in Siri, tap Language, scroll down until you find Italian or Italy, and that's it. Sadly, I am not HomeKit savvy enough to know whether that'll switch the language for both devices or just HomePod. I guess we can try it next Monday and see. 2 points of note around the brand new iPad mini. One piece from my download blog says the A15 Bionic in the tablet is slightly slower than the same processor in iPhone 13. Meanwhile, another report from the same site says the 5G for iPad mini is not mmWave. Sort of reads like a drag. Still, next week's mini will run rings around the old one it's replacing. More news in a moment, but first a word from Ladder. Smart, dynamic term life insurance. Life insurance is not the most fun thing in the world. Talking over money and mortality with some stranger who may have your best interest at heart or may have their commission in mind. Then there are the forms, the medical exams. It's all just ick. There is a better way with Ladder. That's because they handle everything online. With Ladder, you can get fast, affordable term life insurance without leaving home. It's all online when you apply for $3 million or less in coverage. And it really couldn't be simpler. Going through the initial screening took me less time than you'll spend listening to today's show. If you're between the ages of 20 and 60, need coverage, and want to team up with a company that's redeeming life insurance, choose Ladder. Go to ladderlife.com/macOSken today to see if you're instantly approved. LADDER. That's ladderlife.com/macOSken. ladderlife.com/macOSken.
Have you suffered from a cracked screen on your M1 MacBook? Call the law offices of Maglaccio and Rasode.
Actually, don't call their offices, but do know that they're leading a class action lawsuit over the issue. Apple Insider says the suit follows an investigation by the law firm into easily cracked MacBook screens. It accuses Apple of violating various warranty, consumer protection, and false advertising laws. According to the complaint, these problems often develop while the class laptops are closed. Many class laptop owners have reported that they first observed cracking and/or display malfunction when opening their devices from a closed position. Others report that their screens cracked as they adjusted the screen's viewing angle in an ordinary manner. The reasonable consumer would not expect such activity to damage their device, let alone cause an obscured display and/or screen crack that impairs its functionality. Oh no, they're gonna get sued. Apple Insider says the lawsuit, which demands a jury trial, seeks a declaration that the MacBook screens are defective, various damages to the plaintiffs and class, and attorney's fees and costs, among other prayers for relief. They had the leather out, they had the new colors of dye. While Apple announced nothing about AirTag at Tuesday's California streaming event, the company did release updated accessories for the tracker. Apple Insider says the Cupertino company released new leather key rings for AirTag in midnight, wisteria, and golden brown, matching colors introduced for the new leather cases for iPhone 13. Additionally, the piece says the Hermes bag charm and key ring were updated, so it is now available in gold, bleu, sapphire, jaune d'or, and piment, while the Hermes luggage tag now comes in gold. Pretentiousness included at no extra charge. News from Mac Rumors. Apple CEO Tim Cook has made it to Time's list of the 100 most influential people of 2021. Two things. First, it's weird that Time is still influential enough for its 100 most influential people list to matter. And second, wouldn't it be bigger news if the openly gay, fighting for social justice CEO of the world's most valuable company didn't make that list? Especially since Time listed Apple as one of the 100 most influential companies of 2021. Also on this year's list, Billie Eilish, subject of a documentary for Apple TV Plus, and Jason Sudeikis, star of a comedy series on Apple TV Plus. Okay, I'm kidding about Eilish. She is a huge pop star and would have made the list with or without the documentary. But the star of Ted Lasso making the list? That almost sounds like another award for the Cupertino streamer, not to take anything away from Mr. Sudeikis. Speaking of Ted Lasso, as we so often do, more accolades this week for the Apple TV Plus comedy. Apple Insider says the series has won 3 out of the 5 awards it was nominated for in the 37th Annual Television Critics Association Awards. The piece says the awards came in 3 of the TCA's biggest categories: Achievement in Comedy, New Program, and Program of the Year. And finally today, news of another show coming very soon to Apple TV+. iMore says the bilingual comedy Acapulco is set to start in less than a month. Describing the show, Apple says Acapulco tells the story of 20-something Maximo Gallardo, whose dream comes true when he gets the job of a lifetime as a cabana boy at the hottest resort in Acapulco. He soon realizes that the job is far more complicated than he ever imagined, and in order to succeed, he must learn to navigate a demanding clientele, a mercurial mentor, and a complicated home life, all without losing his way to shortcuts or temptations. Set in 1984, two people play Gallardo. Enrique Arrazón plays the 20-something version, while Eugenio Derbez narrates as Gallardo from modern day. Derbez also serves as the show's executive producer. Billed as an Apple original, Acapulco starts its 10-episode run on Friday, the 8th of October. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by Ladder, smart, dynamic term life insurance. Learn more at ladderlife.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.